Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
What is going on, Birdland? Stephen Heckman here for the Final Strike Cup, brought to you by the Baltimore Battery. I hope your day is going better than the Orioles, because the Orioles just lost another series, and since June 5th, Baltimore Orioles are 1-5-1 in series. It's not looking good for us, and the sad part about it is, even as bad as we've been playing, we still find ourselves in the wild card race. I mean, yeah. I mean, you explain it to me. That's how bad the AL is. It's you really don't have too many good teams in the AL outside, the Yankees, the Rays. I mean, even Seattle. Last I saw, Seattle was sitting there one game above 500 in their division. Now Texas is in the AL West, leading it at 500. So there you go. You got the Chicago White Sox leading their division with a 524 record. I mean, the best records in baseball are coming out of the AL East. And what's sad is, if you go into the wild card race right now, Seattle holds the third place wild card race. The Yankees are actually the first wild card team, because Tampa Bay has overtaken them. So you got the Yankees, Cleveland, and Seattle holding the wild card spots, and Baltimore sits 3 games back. 3 games back in the wild card spot at 39-46 after today. I mean, as horrible as we have played this season, to sit there and only be 3 games back in the wild card race, just it's mind blowing. And it's that little bit of glimpse of hope that keeps you wondering, what to do next. We got you've got the trade deadline that's going to be coming up. I mean, we now have 13 games left until the All-Star break, which right now is much needed. We've passed the halfway point of the season. So, it's all downhill from here. We need to get our act together. We still have yet to win more than 3 games in a row. This is the team that came in. I mean, Mike Elias actually put together a good team, and the players he's gotten are actually performing. I mean, Shane Baz has pitched pretty decent for us. Lack of run support be damned, but for the most part, he's pitched pretty decent for us. Pete Alonso's been playing pretty well for us. Blaze Alexander's been doing pretty well for us. Helsley, outside of a couple opportunities, has been decent for us. Kittredge, when he's healthy, has been decent for us. I mean, Ward's been pretty consistent for us. You've got Elias went out and did what he was supposed to do, and I'm still seeing people jumping on Elias, saying that he needs to go, but Elias can only do so much. There comes a point where it's up to the manager and the players to actually take responsibility, and responsibility to fall on them. Craig Alvarez was supposed to be the manager everybody wanted. That's one of the reasons why we got him. And when we interviewed him, we jumped on him and decided to go with him, as everybody wanted him. He came with high praise from quite a few people. Other teams were interested in him, had been interested in him over the past couple of years. There was a lot of positive upside to him, apparently, from what everybody had said around the league. And, at times, there's things that he's done that have, made you scratch your head, that work in our favor. But I'm telling you what, his feel for the bullpen is atrocious. The game against the Angels, where, Trey Gibson's gone 4 innings, and then his final inning, he strikes out 3 batters, strikes out the side, and his 97, 98, and is pulled with 65 pitches because, quote unquote, we wanted to get the bullpen some work. I'm sorry, that's a questionable decision. We're here to win. We're not here just to get players some work. This isn't spring training. This isn't the end of the year where we've locked up playoff seeding or anything like that. This is we're in it to win it. If a guy's, being successful on the mound, you don't just pull him because you want to get your bullpen some work. And what ended up happening is the bullpen ended up blowing the game and we lost the game in the extra innings. And what's worse is because we lost the game in extra innings, the players we put in earlier in the game to relieve Trey Gibson weren't available at the end of the game when we could have used them in extra innings. So it backfired in more than one way and cost us not only the game, but the series. So a 5-4 road trip turned into a 4-5 road trip. What's worse is when you look at the beginning of the series against Seattle and the Dodgers, we easily could have swept the Dodgers if not for some poor management of the bullpen. And we could have easily won 2 games against Seattle. I mean, at worst, we should have finished against Seattle and the Dodgers at 4-2, 5-1 at best. And instead, we come away from those 2 series at 3-3. We can play baseball with anybody. We have the components to play baseball with anybody. The problem is there's so much inconsistency. There's so much, well, I want to get this player in, I want to get this player in. This crap going on with Tyler O'Neill and Colton Cowser to get Tyler O'Neill a couple of bats and then bring in Colton Cowser or vice versa. No, Tyler O'Neill's not producing. You don't have to bring him in just because he's getting paid $16 million. If Colton Cowser gives you the better upside, keep Colton Cowser in. And then I go back to the Angels game where Leody Taveras had to play third base for 5 innings. You had Kobe Mayo as your DH, so you couldn't put him in the field because you lose your DH. The problem I have is the fact that we had an infielder on our taxi squad and we had a catcher on our taxi squad, and we pulled the catcher off the taxi squad, which gave us 3 catchers with Adley Rutschman on the IL. So you have 3 catchers, which the one catcher, I'm sorry I'm drawing a blank on his name right now because I'm so frustrated. The one catcher played 1 game. 1 game. But because you didn't have the proper bench, you were forced to take a regular outfielder and put him in at third base. Now, he played decently. He played pretty well. But it's not something that's always going to work in your favor. 9 times out of 10, it's going to backfire. Taveras took that and ran with it, and he played a damn good position over there. And we ended up winning the game, thank God. But damn, why in the hell are you carrying 3 catchers just because Adley Rutschman's hurt? Was there something I was missing? Was there something we weren't being told? Because Baseo and Sam Huff should have been able to carry what needed to be fulfilled by carrying 2 catchers. There was no need to carry a 3rd catcher, especially for the guy to play 1 game on the entire 9-game road trip. Shorten yourself to one and less infielder, and then when you have the infielder Blaze Alexander get hurt and miss 2 games, plus you have Jackson Holliday who's out resting a sore groin, and you bring in a 3rd catcher instead of the infielder, that's a questionable move. Who made that decision that 2 infielders are injured, but we should bring a 3rd catcher on that didn't play but 1 game in a 9-game series? The sad part is the 1 game that he played, he had more hits than 4 of our players for the whole series. That's the sad part. But instead, the decisions that are being made right now are questionable decisions. And I'm sorry, as a manager, it's your responsibility to tell the general manager or acting general manager or whoever's doing the general manager. I don't know who's doing the general manager work, whether Mike Elias is training somebody to do it and they're actually running it right now and we haven't been told, or if Mike Elias is actually doing it. Either way, as the manager, you're supposed to relay information to the team or the front office. This is what we have. This is what's going on. This is what we need. Sit down and talk. If there's no communication, there is a wall and a barrier, and that's what's going to cause a breakdown of fundamentals on the team because you're not going to be prepared for what happens going forward. As a manager, it is your responsibility to have your team ready. But if you forget to give that information to the general manager, which apparently you all talk on a daily basis, you're setting yourself up for failure. There is no excuse that you need to carry 3 catchers when you already have infielders that are hurt. Yet you keep your infielder on the taxi squad left on the taxi squad and happen to lose another infielder during the series. It doesn't make any sense. These are the things I've been talking about that aren't adding up. This is the difference as to why our team has a losing record and could have a winning record, because we're not making smart decisions. We're not making proper moves at the right time. I was looking on X, formerly of Twitter, a little bit ago. They are tearing Gunnar Henderson up on there. I'm not going to go so far as to blame Gunnar Henderson for why our team is playing so poorly this year. I have called Gunnar Henderson out on a few things this year, like watching the ball go right down the middle of the plate, because I've seen it happen with him and Pete Alonso more than anybody else on the team. But you'd think with a player like Pete Alonso batting behind him that he'd be getting a little bit better pitching and taking advantage of it, and he's not. Now, he was asked after the game today about it, and, he gave a mature response, but a lot of people aren't buying it. People think he doesn't wanna be here, and I honestly, I don't wanna say that because at this point, if that's true, then it's becoming another Manny Machado situation, and everybody remembers how ugly that got towards the last 2 years. Now, granted, different ownership group, different owners, and less money willing to be spent, so the other thing that's frustrating is we still do not know what the offer was that was put on the table last year to Gunnar Henderson and Scott Boras that was refused. That could have had some indication as to what we're dealing with now and why Gunnar might be frustrated or playing the way he's playing. He might have felt like he was slighted. And it's possible. You don't know because we don't have the privy to have that information. We just know that an offer was made. That's all we know. But when asked today how he felt at the plate and do you feel like you're getting close, this is what Gunnar's response was. Excuse me, I am reading per his response. So bear with me. Says today I felt pretty good. We were working through some stuff yesterday and today felt pretty good. But I mean, it's just been, I don't even know how to describe it. Probably one of the most frustrating things I've ever been through. I mean, come in and work my butt off and every day. And like you said, I mean, I know it's not you don't want to think about it results, but it's hard not to when crap doesn't show up for so long. So it sucks. It's baseball, but yeah. I was followed up with, do you feel like in the cage, you've been working to change things or doing things to get back to what you were doing before? His response, once again, I mean, I've been trying to do anything and everything I can to help the team win because it really doesn't feel like I'm doing that offensively, at least. Yeah, it just sucks, man. Now, I will say offensively, at least, yeah, it does. He's done some good things offensively. He's won a few games for us with walk-offs or tied a few games for us late in the innings. So I can't fully, you know, be completely mad at the guy. But yeah, he's in a slump. The sad thing about this is if you sit there and you look at the stats of the team, he's batting 220 so far on the year. And I brought this up in the last podcast, was at the time Colton Cowser was was batting better than him, playing 10 games less, and actually had a steeper climb to get up to where he had. So let's see where we're at today. Henderson, after today's game, is batting 221 with a 701 OPS. And when you go to Colton Cowser, who went 2 for 3, plus dropped a 2-run home run in center field today, by the way. Cowser's now at 235 with a 704 OPS. Okay. And the only reason I bring them up is because, they both they've been griped about all year, both of them. Cowser's played 74 games. Okay. Whereas Adley, or not Adley, I'm sorry, Gunnar has played in 84 games. So still a 10-game difference. And I remember when Cowser was as low as I want to say 184, 186. And Cowser's turned things around. It took a while. Now, this is the time of year where Gunnar usually gets things going and takes off. But we're out of June. We're heading into July. June is usually his takeoff month. June over his career has been the month where he has completely just exploded, and it's not happened. I mean, what's sad is you look over Gunnar's last 7 games, he's batting 226 with a 294 OPS and a 323 slugging percentage. Now, the one thing I will say that has improved some is he struck out only 5 times in those 7 games. Okay? And the reason I bring that up is because for the season, he's got 91 strikeouts. Coming up through the minor leagues, one of the things about Gunnar Henderson is his strikeouts and walks were pretty relatively close. Even at one point, he had more walks than strikeouts. He's actually on pace to shatter his career high of 159 strikeouts. And he's done that twice, playing in 150 and 159 games. So 159 strikeouts in 159 games, that's 1 strikeout a game, not so bad. 159 strikeouts in 150 games, a little over 1 strikeout per game. Last year, he had 137 strikeouts in 154 games. So you see, he had that number improved last year, whereas his walk totals 56, 78, and 62, you know, they weren't bad. His walk totals were decent. He's only got 30 walks this year. He's striking out 3 times the amount of times he's walking this year. He's only stolen 6 bases. He's been caught 4 times, and yet this is a guy who came in this season saying he could be a 30-30 man. So, the other thing that's bothering me, well, not just me, but I know a lot of other people, is shortstop. He's got 8 errors already. Excuse me, in 78 games. So he's committing an error close to less than once every 10 games. I mean, I know shortstop's a hard position to play. Do not get me wrong. I'm not knocking it. He has made some stellar and spectacular plays there. But a few of the things that I saw on X was people saying it looks like he doesn't want to be here, or he's not trying, or he acts like he doesn't want to be here. Even one of my friends the other day texted me while the game was on and asked me, "Is like, does Gunnar even want to be here anymore?" And a lot of people are seeing this, and there are times where honestly where you look at him and it's nonchalant. His at bats, his play in the field, him running onto the field, it's just a nonchalant, like, "Ole, let's get this done and over with," and that was a big problem with the team at the beginning of the year, is the team was coming, "Let's go to work, let's go home." It didn't matter if we won or lost, and that's kind of where I feel Gunnar's head is right now, and I don't know if it's the frustration with how hard he is working and not getting results. I don't know if it's all the talk that's going on around that he's supposed to be the superstar and helping carry this team and he's not producing. I don't know if maybe he's just frustrated that, Pete Alonso, Colton Cowser, Kyle Bradish, even Adley Rushman are getting more attention than he is. You know, I don't know what's going on inside of his head, and the kid's got talent. I mean, he's how old is he? He's what, 24? Yeah, he's 24 years old. I mean, he'll be 25 in a couple days. Tomorrow, he'll be 25 tomorrow. So, I mean, he's still got a long career ahead of him. He still hasn't even peaked and reached his prime. But something's going on. Something's bothering him, and they got to figure out what it is. Maybe he doesn't want to be here, but I would think, one of the things I've always defended with Holiday, Westberg, Cowser, Henderson, even Grayson and Adley was the fact that they all came up through the minors together, they all won together, they won the AAA championship together, that they would want to stay together because they formed this brotherhood and this family and try to re-sign together to win a championship together as a team, and then, after that, maybe go their separate ways. But, you know, uh, it's baseball. It's a business. We've had our hearts broken many times in Baltimore. I'd love to see the Gunnar we had 2 years ago. And the guy's still hitting home runs. Don't get me wrong, he's still hitting home runs. He's still driven in how many runs? 39 home runs. So, he's doing something offensively. It's just not enough. And it's not just him, it's the whole team. You got Maseo shows up in flashes. Pete Alonso, you know, he's either walking or getting on base. So, he's doing what we expected him to do. But Tyler Ward's a roller coaster. Blaze Alexander's been pretty hot lately. But even Colton Cowser, he's been on fire pretty much lately, but he's got his good and bad days. Jackson Holliday's still coming back and getting comfortable, in the swing of things. Remember, he has that hammock bone that's gone. So, there's a different feel holding the bat, but there's not many pieces that have been added that are different to this team. And that's the frustrating thing. Most of this team is the team that won 101 and 93 games, a few years ago. Our bullpen can't hold a lead. Our starters have started performing well, with the exception of Kyle Bradish today, although he only gave up 1 hit. He just walked 5 batters. But, for the most part, our starters for the past month and a half have easily been very strong. Our bullpen, though, it's like you're walking a tightrope and you're not sure what step you're gonna take, where the rope's gonna snap. Because it's like pulling a shaky tightrope. And part of that is because we're mismanaging our bullpen. We have no set position for our bullpen. And that's the problem. You when you have set positions, it's easier to prepare yourself for it. There's no reason Keegan Aiken should ever close the game. If you look at his career record, I think he's blown all but 2 games he's closed. 2 or 3 games. He's blown every other one. So he should not close games. Same thing as Yennier Cano. Yennier Cano is not a closer. Rico Garcia, Ryan Hensley are your closers. Those are the 2 you should use. Tyler Wells can be a closer. Your setup men should be Yennier Cano, Rico Garcia. The people to get to your setup men, Keegan Aiken, Tyler Wells, Andrew Kittredge. Andrew Kittredge can also be a setup man. Your long relievers, Keegan Aiken and John Blake. He pitched today. He pitched today. I'm drawing a blank. Forgive me. What is his name? Suarez. Albert Suarez. There you go. We got Dylan Beavers back, which is a plus. We got Adley Rutschman back. You got Dean Kramer, who's pretty much probably coming back within the next week. That's going to be a bump. It's going to be interesting to see what we do. Cade Povich isn't far behind. Second half, you're probably going to see Bassett. So, we only have 8 players on the IL. It's the first time since April 24th, I think, we've had that few players on the IL. So we're starting to get healthy. The problem is, can we get healthy and turn things around? And can Greg Alvarez turn things around? Because he's got to step up. We're more than halfway through a season. He should know enough about his team to know how he needs to manage it. He should know enough about how to manage a bullpen. He should know what he needs to go to Mike Elias with, or whoever is playing GM, and tell them this is what we need, or this is what we need on the team right now. If you're meeting with him every day, there's no excuse this isn't being brought up. Same thing. If we're going to be playing in the trade market, we have to know what is a necessary part of the team to get. Bullpen arms. We don't need starters right now. We need bullpen arms. Now, if for some reason we can get a Tarek Skubal, that's a whole different ballgame. But I also wouldn't mortgage an entire farm system on it. Be smart. That's the big thing. Be smart about it. If there's any way to get rid of Tyler O'Neill, do it. So Craig Alvarez needs to start standing up and being the manager that everybody was expecting. And I'm not saying he needs to go out and win, 93% of the games the rest of the way, but he's got to start making better decisions. He's got to start making decisions that are going to help the team win, not cost the team. Not sit there and make a decision because I just want to get this player some work or get these players some work. That's not it. We're here to win. To get the players work, that's what spring training's for. When you're up 22-1 or when you're down 12-1, that's when you get those players some work. You don't do it when you're winning a game by 4 runs. You play to win the game. You put your foot on the gas. If you happen to be up by 10 runs, then no big deal. This is baseball. I've seen leads disappear quicker than anything, and the way our bullpen's been right now, you can't trust them. So that's where we're going to close off here. I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to give a big shout out to the Baltimore Battery. Without the Baltimore Battery, we wouldn't be here. Be sure to make sure you follow them on TikTok and X, formerly of Twitter. Tag handle is at the Be More Battery. Find myself on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and X, formerly of Twitter, at SRJ Heckman. Also, the Final Strike is on X at the Final Strike _. Don't forget to check out the BaltimoreBattery.com. You can find there different articles on different pieces, different opinions, and different things going on in the Birdland world as far as out as the minor leagues. What's going on with players, possible trade pieces, players' health, top performers, many different things. So go over there, check it out. Check out your favorite writers. Be sure to leave us a comment, let you know what you think, what you're looking for, and what you might want to hear in the future. Website for fans, by fans. That's what we do. We're fans ourselves, but we just want to, give fans something more they can look at and be on top of the game from a fan's perspective. Let's check out the BaltimoreBattery.com. Also, want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Advanced Mobility Solution, formerly Scooters for Rent. If you're ever in the Delaware, Maryland, Eastern Shore area and you're looking for mobility products, that goes mobility scooters, wheelchairs, which include manual, beach wheelchairs, and electric wheelchairs, or lift chair recliners. Give Advanced Mobility Solution a call. Tell them Stephen from the Final Strike sent you. You can reach them at 302-280-6203. Last but not least, give a big shout out to you all. Thank you for everything. We wouldn't be able to be here. This is year number 4. Hoping for many, many more. Please keep listening. Please keep cheering the Birds on. And until next time, Baltimore, peace out. Keep that beer cold.